Welcome to the EarthWorks podcast, where our team will share the jargon of carbon with many of the turf friends we've met over the past 35 years.
Hello all, and welcome to the EarthWorks podcast. This week you have me, Jack Higgins, and my friend, Lewis Pitcock. Lou.
How are you? How are you, Jack?
How are you, pal?
We're good.
You're hosting me here at the Avalon Golf Club.
Yeah. All my pleasure on a beautiful day.
What a glorious day. And you don't know that this is actually the birthday version of the EarthWorks podcast.
It is.
Yeah, for me, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, my birthday.
Oh, I thought you meant that we did this 3 years ago, like on this date.
Oh, okay.
In like the middle of summer.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. So, well, it's 3 years later from our first version.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you. It's not today. It'll be the day that it comes out,
Oh, okay.
which is coming up soon.
Yeah.
So, yeah, birthday.
Happy preemptive birthday.
Thank you, pal. Yep.
Well, I don't ask how old you are.
No, go ahead.
How old are you?
40.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a
just
big
coming
birthday.
into a new decade.
Big birthday.
Yeah, thanks, pal.
You got a couple years on you.
I know, yeah. I think you're a couple years older than me. Only 2 or 3, right?
Say a couple.
Okay. All right. Well, dude, so, yeah.
It's been 3 years since we've done this.
Yes.
When you asked me to do it, I had to look back to see how long ago it was.
Okay.
So we were going to kind of recap
Mm-hmm.
on what we wanted to talk about. And I'm like, what are we going to talk about? What did we talk about last time? I looked back and it was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy smokes, 3 years.
You were concerned that
About that fast.
Yeah, dude. All right. Well, the theme last time was you were just coming into Avalon.
Yep.
And it was kind of, well, how do you approach a brand new project, kind of new challenges?
Yep.
Like, how do you kind of do some kind of assessment and get started?
And finding balance between what your goals are and everyone else's.
That's
involved.
right. That's
and
right.
Finding a balance between all that.
Yeah, like setting expectations and also understanding the expectations.
Understand everybody else's expectations, capabilities and all that stuff.
Right. Because so kind of fill us in a little more, like you about Avalon, the size of the place, your crew, and how busy you are over here.
It's not the biggest golf club.
Okay.
Just normal 18 holes, 6,800 yards max.
Right.
Smaller greens, 3-4 acres of greens, depending on if you have the approaches included. But we maximize this facility, to say the least, for golf ability and amount of rounds that we can put through.
That's right.
Which I
was that the expectation from the start?
Yes.
That you're saying, like that was in the original meetings.
Yep. That was always their goal. Was it was a public golf course. We have a membership too, semi-private. But in the summertime, when vacation folks from area cities are here, they want to play golf.
That's right.
And we want to get as many of them through as we can. And we do a majority of our revenue from that.
From Memorial Day.
From public rounds. Yeah, Memorial Day to Labor Day.
Yeah, just cranking them.
Yeah, Memorial Day to now, really. We're busy. And to say busy is an understatement.
You said 300 rounds a day.
Between 280 and 320 rounds every day from here on out. It's been like that since a few days before 4th of July.
Yep.
But that's what we plan for. That's what we budget for. And
that was in your original kind of discovery meetings with the owner here. Like,
yes.
What are the expectations? Because
we knew rounds were going up, like during COVID. Rounds were going up, and it was all kind of new to golf. 2008 and 9 weren't
right.
People were not fighting to get on golf courses.
Yeah, no doubt.
And now we have people waiting in our parking lot trying to get in somehow to play during the day, and that's not what it was then. And not only has it gotten busier, but every golf course is probably dealing with too busy.
For sure.
In reality, we're all probably way more busy than golf courses are meant to handle.
But we'll take it.
Yes.
Especially here, right? That's part of the goal here. You're trying, you want to get the golfers out.
Well, here especially, everybody will say they appreciate their ownership's support. But here we really, really do appreciate owner's support. And he acquired this property in a different form of ownership 5 years ago, maybe.
Okay.
And
so only 2 years before you came on.
Yeah. Yep. And wanted to make it nice and wanted it to be a business that everybody enjoys working at, playing at, patronizing. And that's his goal, and that's all of our goals. So it makes things enjoyable. When the goal is to just make it nice, as nice as you can make it.
Well, it's an effort to set up for 300 rounds a day.
And that's the battle, is how to make a golf course nice with 300 rounds every day.
Right.
And we could talk about all the great things we've done, and then we can also talk about things you would have done different to accommodate the 300 rounds, but you might not have been able to do the first without the second.
Right.
So it was always a battle of, this is how we want to approach this. These are the ways we can approach it, but this is how we have to approach it if we want to accommodate 300 rounds a day throughout the process.
Yeah, and that was key. Okay, so let's say, like, go back to 3 years ago. You coming to the property. I guess you were probably here 4 years ago, thereabouts, because it was like a year after we did the podcast a year later. But anyway, there were areas of the golf course that were incredibly wet, right?
Yes, we had 3 or 4 holes, par 4s, 5s, that was cart path only. And I remember when I first got here, my first day, I took off to spray, filled up my spray tank, started driving down the first hole, and blew.
Just
sunk the sprayer, and full tank. And
like had to get towed out.
I realized we have a problem. We need to fix these fairways that we can't get out onto. And how are we going to do this? We spoke to some contractors about doing lots of drainage. We considered doing lots of drainage.
Like what's lots of drainage? What are you talking about?
Like going down an entire hole and the whole low side of it, doing a drain every 20 feet.
Oh,
which then would have been like 150 drains going down this hole.
Massively expensive.
Expensive, but how are you going to do that and play? The hole would have to be closed.
Right.
And for a while. And we really don't want to interrupt the flow of revenue that has been so kindly put back into the golf course to make these improvements,
Okay, I see what you mean. So like and that's what you kind of alluded to earlier, that this place really is set up for the golfer.
Yes.
In that like the revenue goes back in.
Yes.
You're reinvesting, your owner's reinvesting in this place constantly.
Yep.
Okay.
We don't want to disrupt that.
Right. But you only keep that going if you can keep golfing.
Yes, if you can keep golfing. So that was our fun battle. Is doing this in play.
Yes.
I mean, even our shoulder seasons are fairly warm here. We'll have a lot of golf in November.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of golf in April.
Absolutely. That's how we
get time to golf.
Yeah, that's how we're getting these record-setting years of rounds and stuff, because people are utilizing the property all the time.
Yep. But in doing so and making these different choices on how to do things that accommodate all that, you can still make progress. And that's what's been fun, is to look back and see how we have made some good out of all this in all of this play.
Okay.
And that was our goal. And it's fun when you get to accomplish that and see results.
All right. So let's start with what did you do, kind of cultural practice? What did you do? Did you wind up doing a whole bunch of drainage? Did you reshape those 4 holes?
No, we actually did very limited drainage. Our approach was, let's do as much aerification and top dressing as we can, and fairways included, par 5 fairways, top dressing them heavily.
Okay. Well, let's talk about where we are first of all. You said Swainton, New Jersey, which is Cape May County.
Yes. Yep. Across the street from 2 other golf courses that I worked at.
Okay.
May have been in a whole different planet. Very sandy over across Route 9.
Right.
We're down in a little valley here next to a stream, as you can see.
Okay.
With tidal waters wanting to flow in here.
Okay.
And streams all pouring into here too.
Okay, so yeah, this is like a tiny little peninsula down here with water on both sides of the peninsula. You said like it's even tidal, that like
there's tidal water that wants to come in here.
Right.
There's some,
but also runoff coming from the other direction.
Yes.
Like this stream coming from the other direction.
Yep.
And Avalon sits right here at the low point.
Also probably built very differently too.
Okay.
Different time, different contractors, I imagine. And this is very rich soil.
Interesting.
Across the street, we couldn't put enough amendment into the sandy soil.
It was truly a sand pit over there. Sand barrens.
Yes, sand barrens in the sand. That's how we became such good friends.
That's right, dude. Yeah, well, that was the deal when you were there. That super sandy soil, you were just cranking the EarthWorks granular
with shovels.
Yeah. You would use 3-4-3 even, and just go the straight chicken manure compost and just heavy rates as frequently as possible, because you were trying to really build some humus.
Yep. And then coming here, it was a whole different story. It was very wet. There's a couple dry holes, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But just very wet.
Different battle.
We couldn't water because we were already too wet to water. So it left us hand watered in a lot of spots. We did put in a new irrigation system last year. We're still trying to lasso, that bull in, but even slightly unlassoed, it's still so much much better.
That's great.
But the top dressing and the aerification aggressively multiple times on a large scale of our turf was by far some of the most helpful to changing our turf here. There's 3 or 4 holes that were cart path only are no longer. The playability of getting out after storms we used to close, after rainstorms
for
days.
Oh,
and missing out 300 rounds was a big deal. And now we don't have to do that.
Oh, yeah.
But top dressing tees, greens, fairways, quarter to $500,000 in sand, thanks to Tuckahoe Sand and Gravel being right down the street from us.
Well, that's the other thing.
That really made all that possible.
That's right. It's made possible by the fact that we're down here in Cape May County.
Yes.
You can find sand pits all around.
Yep. In the Midwest, we had to make our own sand.
Yeah, you're from Ohio.
Yeah. And out here, they just dig it out of a hole and there's your sand.
And they get great sand. They get great sand out. Yep. Yeah. So it's wonderful.
Yep. So that made it all possible. That was one of the better approaches, was to just basics. What can we aerify and top dress and at least get the surface draining and get the surface water off, and that left us with very few areas that we have to tend to.
Now when you aerified top dress, was it pulling cores every time? So you really
I wouldn't say every time. At least 2-3 times a year
of pulling a plug, because you had the thatch.
Yep.
And a lot of bent grass out here.
Depends on what holes you're on.
Those wet thatchy holes.
The wet thatchy feet,
right?
Or the wet thatchy holes. The bent grass, for some reason, loves planting feet there.
Yes.
And our drier holes, a lot more bluegrass, ryegrassy, some common bent grass, some even Bermuda holes right now this time of year out there. But the wetter holes, all bent grass. And they needed a core pulled, but we also snuck out there maybe another 3 times with a big one in solid tine too. So maybe 6 times a year.
Mm-hmm. All different depths.
Whatever we can do.
Right.
Whatever we can get out and do. The solid tine's deeper.
Yeah.
It's just easier. But the amount of sand that we've been lucky to use has been a big help. I know not everybody can.
Now, would you do that? Would you focus harder on areas that needed it more, or would it have to be the same blanket everywhere? Would every hole get sand top dressing, or?
There were 3 or 4 holes that 70 or 80% of that hole has been buried every time.
Okay.
Yeah, buried every time.
Did everywhere get some, or were there some areas that didn't get it?
We have top dressed and core aerified every fairway.
Got it.
Multiple times. Yep. And like I said, that's not something everybody can do. It's top dress fairways. We're lucky we have a good relationship with Tuckahoe, and our owner was supportive of that. It's not easy to tell an owner that you need $250,000 worth of sand or $500,000 worth of sand, somewhere in between there.
Wow.
And them support that.
Right.
And I remember the first meeting we suggested it. He said, well, how long till it makes a difference? And I said, could be 5 years, could be 15 years. And I saw his face and I was like, well, I don't want to lie to you. It could be years before you actually notice a huge difference in this, but luckily it was only 3.
I think you undersold it.
Yeah, yeah.
You did undersell it,
Yeah.
because like,
Well, I didn't imagine we'd be able to get out 6 times a year with an aerification and a top
he
dress.
made it possible.
The holes that really needed it, we did it, got it
Yeah.
done.
Oh, that's good. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah. So it all came together the right way. But like, I think that, I'm just bringing up something that I think happens with EarthWorks as well, is that like we talk about like, how long will you make changes to the profile? How long will it take to like start to humify and stuff? And we often would have said like, 3 seasons, something like that. You like, don't make an assessment, after the first year, stuff like that. Really trying to cover in butt.
I think everybody's different too. That some courses, the honeymoon period of a superintendent coming to a property, they might get days where they get to close, or maybe they get a certain time period where they get to close. And here our goal was to keep 300 rounds a day going.
But I think that in starting any process like that, in starting the process, you'll see improvement, and enough improvement that that whoever's making those assessments can notice it too.
Yeah.
That you can have confidence in saying like, you know what, as soon as we get started, you're going to start to see things getting better, and then over time it'll just get better and better after that. But you can really start making changes pretty quickly.
Yeah. Yep.
As long as you get started on the right path.
Yep. Absolutely.
Because you guys started upping the rounds probably year 1 after starting this path.
We've just been full every day since.
Yeah.
even when I first started working here.
But they would have to close. They would have to close.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. What we've been able to do is charge more. And it's not necessarily because the place is in such great shape, but you have to. When cost of goods and cost of labor went up immediately following COVID, you can't eat all of that.
That's a very good point.
You can't bite all of that. And when that happens and cost of labor goes up, it's hard to maintain the same amount of people in the same amount of hours and do things the same way, because then you're definitely eating all of that. And where's that coming from? You have to get that from charging more. Well, you start to charge more, and now expectations go higher. And as you're trying to keep up with high expectations, you need every employee you can get, to do that. And it's kind of
the cycle keeps going.
Yeah. And it's an expectation cycle that just keeps going.
Oh, that's a very good point.
Yep.
I mean, but like you're saying, it kind of started with the fact that like the cost of labor went up and the cost of goods went up.
Yep.
Like both those things went up.
Yep.
And you would have to charge more, but if you're charging more, it better be a damn good product.
It better be a good product.
Yeah.
I think we're charging 35% more after COVID, something like that.
Okay.
And some courses I know are way higher than that. I would actually like to be higher than that. That's us, because we put all the sweat into it. We're like, how are they getting away with just playing for that? They should be paying,
Yeah, you guys put a lot of hard work into it, but you make it accessible for everybody to golf.
That's the thing.
You want people to be able to golf.
You want people to be able and to enjoy themselves. It's hard to enjoy yourself if
you just kicked out $100 for the round, $150 for the round, and now like that's and it's hard. You're right. It's hard to enjoy yourself.
It's hard to enjoy yourself if you're overpaying for a round.
Yeah, because it's not. So you're not just paying for yourself.
You gotta find the sweet spot.
You're paying for your kid too. Now you're $300 in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So so you find that sweet spot,
and you have to do things with staff too that you don't always normally do. Like I know we had to make big changes 2008, 2009. We also had to make changes during, like Obamacare changes and healthcare changes and benefits changes, made a lot of changes to staff. And then this happens, where wages go up so fast. It's like, whoa, what do we do? We just increased our costs 50%.
Wow.
Then what do? Well, you got to at least raise prices, some of that.
Right.
And can we cut anywhere? I don't know, because our expectations are so high. Everybody's courses, I shouldn't say everybody's courses, I imagine most golf courses have done well over the last few years, or at least better than they were prior to that.
People are doing well. We're all doing well.
Everybody knows that. And a lot of owners put some money back into golf courses during PPE period. And when in the first couple seasons of increased revenue after COVID. Everybody's put some money back into their golf courses, so expectations are high,
Right.
Or higher, I should say, than in the past, I believe. Not to mention, just look at golf 50 years ago to what it is now.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Every year things get more competitive.
Yeah, no doubt.
Naturally.
Yeah, absolutely.
Naturally.
But you can keep up, but you have to shuck and jive. You have to figure it out. So what have you done with this crew in regards to labor, in regards to the timing that it takes to get 300 rounds a day? First of all, if you're doing 300 rounds a day, what's your first tee time out here?
As early as 5:15.
Wow.
No later than 5:30.
Well, we're down here at this latitude, man, and in the summertime, the sun's up.
It's a little cooler down here.
Yeah, you can tee off and have a really nice morning. So you let them do it.
Yeah, yep. And to change that, when you're used to that revenue and you're used to it, at least some or most of it at most golf courses being put back into the golf courses, you almost don't want to change it yourself. I mean, would I love to sleep in for another hour? Would we love to have another hour to make it even that much nicer? Yeah, absolutely. But that's a lot of money, an hour or two on a golf course.
Okay.
And again, I'm not encouraging it for everybody. Fortunate here, one of our great successes, I would call it, is we still have every employee that was here before I got here still working here.
Wow.
And have somewhat been used to the early golf and the amount of golf that this place has been known to do.
Wow.
So the slight adjustment we had to make to be a little bit earlier to put the place where we wanted to in the morning wasn't that big of a deal for them. But coming from another golf course to say, our crew starts at 4 a.m, we're teeing off at 5:15, they're like, no way. So we were fortunate that
they were
they were here and they were somewhat used to this.
It was like the frog in the boiling pot sort of deal, right? Like, yeah. So anyway, so they're used to it. How do you do that specifically? Like, how do you arrange with the pro shop? How many guys do you have out in the morning? What are you getting done? How do you do it?
Wake up very early.
Okay.
We try to get everybody to move together. That's the goal.
Okay.
And I think that's common at a lot of golf courses. Try to get the team to move together in the morning in case somebody's slipping or something's missing. You can help out.
So you're out before that 5:15 round?
Oh yeah, we start at 4 a.m.
Okay.
And there's guys that are out the door at 4 o'clock in the morning out there mowing. It's fun. We always joke. A couple of us in the morning on the first few holes, you look around, you see all the lights and the equipment going around. You think it's like a tournament, like you feel like you're at a tournament every morning. Everybody's driving around in the dark with all these lights going around.
Yeah, I did it 2 weeks ago at Hertzborn. Yeah, and we had Walter on the podcast.
So it's kind of exciting. I'm sure there's some of us out there that are less excited to be out there that early, but for some of us, it's kind of exciting.
It's part of the experience of greenkeeping.
But we try to move everybody together, and it's a tight squeeze. We are not unfamiliar to the back nine being used in the morning.
Okay.
For members, singles will show up, maybe some late night phone calls,
and they'll send them out on 10.
It's pretty standard at 10 o'clock in the morning. Before our staff gets there, we will have people tee off the back nine, and then they will stop doing that so that our crew can come through behind them. So we try to operate together as a team in a coordinated wave.
Right.
I don't know what those little Chinese sand garden things are called, where golfers mess them all up, and then you come through in the morning and try to run the rake over it.
Oh yeah, those are called bunkers, bro.
Yeah, whatever. we try to clean everything and leave it fresh for the next 300 rounds in the morning.
Yeah, okay.
And it's not always easy. There's something about waking up 7 days a week that early. It takes special people to do that. You have to really like what you're doing.
And how many people are here at that time in the morning?
10.
10 of you.
Yeah, there's probably 10 of us here. Yeah.
And you're a guy on triplex?
Half the triplex greens, there's no way that you could be walk mode. Would love to. They're not even that big of greens. There's no way.
No.
Starting that early in the morning.
And no need to.
Triplex approaches, 5 real units for the fairways. We unfortunately, triplex tees really take a beating with this many rounds. I mean, I don't need to make excuses, but it does get to some point where you have to move the tee markers in the middle of the day.
Wow.
Especially those like 320 round days. you really have to move the tee markers in the middle of the day, or it's just dirt.
Well, how many acres of tees are you?
Not enough.
Yeah.
Went from 2.5 to maybe 3.5 now.
Yeah, and 3.5 is
we've
still...
built 6, 7 tee boxes, in-house during the winters. Plan on building 6 or 7 more, 2 or 3 every winter.
Well, you mentioned that you almost like accounted for that in the irrigation system, right?
Yeah, the irrigation system. It's a lot of the sprinkler heads from tees that are too small. We set away a little bit to make room to make them a little bit bigger.
Perfect.
Yeah, we had a good plan going. There's a lot of things when you put an irrigation system. If you have a good plan, you can be ready for it down the road. And that was another challenge, was how do you put an irrigation system in without disturbing 300 rounds a day. That was a lot of fun.
Well, when did you do that?
When it was freezing cold. And I can't believe, Landscapes Unlimited, kudos to them. January, February.
Wow.
Big crew, freezing cold.
They're out here.
Wiring things barehanded in these freezing cold holes. Yeah. Water, freezing water all around them. We'd hit like an old drain or an old irrigation pipe, and water would come out, and 5 minutes later it's frozen. We almost took a golf ball there.
Yeah, well, we've got it. No, we were close, but no, you've got it shielded really well, and it is a beautiful. I feel like Jim Nance, with this setup. If you're not listening, you guys should, or if you're only listening and not on YouTube, check it out. The video on YouTube. Lewis set us up real nice here.
It's a good spot.
Yeah,
I didn't think we'd have a golf ball come near us, but you never know.
You never know. You never know. So yeah, Landscapes Unlimited, man. They did a great job.
They did a really good job.
But you also did a good job. I was out here with you. Who was your contractor guy? Because the two of you really worked good at designing a great system.
Roberto San Juan was the project coordinator.
He had
Manny working with him here. Awesome. Just accommodating.
Did you have a designer of this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Which got us to the amount of irrigation that we needed. But like I said, Landscapes Unlimited, being accommodative extremely, allowed us to kind of be flexible with our future plans.
Yes.
And
well, that was what you were most excited about.
Yes.
I remember that you were like, hey, like I can say to these guys, actually, wouldn't it be much better for the turf if we move this 10 feet that way?
Yep.
Or and they were able to be like, hey, no problem, Lewis. Yeah, boom, boom.
Yeah, or they'd be like, Lewis, that's dumb.
Or that's dumb. Okay, and that's good too.
Yeah, no, it's great. No, but we worked well together. They were great. Definitely can highly recommend that outfit. We knew when we hired them that it would get done. It would get done right, and they didn't disappoint us.
So wall-to-wall coverage, you have everything through the rough, and how does this place work?
Through the rough that we want.
Got it.
Through the rough that we want.
Because that you also accounted for that.
We're going to be incorporating some native areas, not like highly vegetative native areas, but just sandy, beachy,
like waste bunkers, sort of.
We already have some of it in some areas voluntarily. That's just there.
Yeah, there you go.
But some of it looks good, especially with a little bit of love.
Right.
And we'd like to make a lot of it, especially where it fits the golf course. And we irrigate it accordingly to those future plans as well.
Okay. So that's stuff that you have in the works.
Which we there's all kinds of reasons to do that, but also with doubling our irrigation sprinkler from where we used to be, we knew we were going to use a lot of water.
Okay.
So implementing a lot of these native areas and making some hard edges out there is going to cut back on some water.
Because you can change the part circle heads if you have
it's a great idea to get an irrigation system, but when you have so much water, it's nice to be able to do what we're doing.
Well, where does the water come from here?
Just naturally fed through that stream.
Okay.
Through this pond.
Yeah.
We have a transfer from a couple other ponds that if they overflow, we can borrow some of that water too. But no wells.
No, because this is the low point, really. Like
no wells
for a lot of the area.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's very good. Okay, back to labor. You do something interesting here with your 4 o'clock starts.
Yes, starting that early.
Right.
You can't necessarily have a normal schedule like a lot of golf courses in the past, and some still do.
Do like a 6 to 2.
Where you're working until 2 or 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
4 to 2 to 3 o'clock is a long day. So now you're thinking the end of the day is going to be around lunchtime. if you're starting at 4 o'clock. And a lot of guys, if you're leaving after lunch, they'd rather just go home and eat.
Sure.
We all love each other.
Right.
And just to throw that into, I remember COVID last time we talked 3 years ago, like people were eating lunch in their vehicles, you know?
So weird, right?
And they're like eating outside. You know?
So weird.
Like, it's so glad to see that's over.
Yeah.
You know? Like now that we're talking about lunches, like
I know.
everybody used to love to eat together.
Right.
You know, and then you would go back out to work. You can't do that here with 300 rounds out there. You can't go back out. But if you're getting here at 4, and everybody kind of got used to not eating together during COVID, you know, everybody just goes home and eats, you know.
Cool.
And we offered everybody to come back. You know, if you want to come back at night and change the cups, mow some stuff, get a head start on the next day, you can do that.
And what time is that?
Our goal was always 5:30, somewhere around there, but we come back and there's still people teeing up at
Right.
5:30.
Oh my gosh.
So we'll just find other stuff to do. A lot of hand watering and stuff that went on in the past in the afternoon hasn't been going on this year. We've been wet.
Yes.
You know, we've been wet. So.
Well, and also, yeah, we've been wet, but also you've been making changes now season after season, and the plant's getting a lot stronger and your profiles are getting a lot better.
Yep. Knowing that every fairway and area out here is different, dialing them in is a lot. Helps out a lot,
and a new irrigation system to dial them in.
Getting everything to act a little bit like the other areas, a big help. Some of our sandier fairways, you could call them, that get drier, we incorporate more, you know, 822 and 343 into those holes than we do the ones that were wetter and we were top dressing. I think we talked about using some profile and stuff in some of those holes.
Yeah, Ecolite. You would use definitely.
And
with the top, when you were going those winters of heavy sand top dressing, I remember you got like a couple tons of Ecolite and put them out there.
We didn't want to make layers,
right?
You know, when you're putting down that much sand, you don't make a layer, so we would always incorporate some A22.
Right.
I say A22 because that's what we use in fairways. Our usage of fertilizer granular around here, our program's not that complicated. We just use A22 on the fairways in the off season,
right?
You know, late spring, early fall. We do that around the times where we heavy top dress so that we can incorporate a little organics with our top dressing, not get a layer. And that's it. That's all.
And that's granular, like what you lean on for your whole foundation of fertility.
We might spread some stuff here and there on some like weird areas or weak areas or something.
Right.
But that's our fertility program is 822 only, spring and fall. That carries us all through the summer, maybe a little bit of liquid through the summer to help out. I know there's some great slow release fertilizers out there, but I kind of like the natural decomposition of the organics and that you're adding something back to the ground at the same time, like building up the profile so that like you're saying, like chasing wilt, you know, all that gets less. You just have less of that to do. And then tees and greens are, you know, that ball might have been close. You know, we spoil them a little bit more. They'll get the works. They'll get the Cal Vantage, Trilogy, C3 treatments in every water and spray.
Right.
You know, they'll get all that in the spring and the fall as well. But fertility on the greens and tees is very simple. We just use the 333.
The mica.
When we aerify.
Yeah,
and that's it. And we don't put hardly any granular down except for maybe a couple sandier greens that were built later. They're a little different. So our fertility program's pretty simple. There's not much to it.
Keep it very simple.
I like how the 822 and 343 and stuff, that kind of carries your phosphorus through a little bit.
That's right. You get that regeneration always. You get like a lot of good recovery. You do. How do you use the Myco for like divot recovery on tees as well, or do you throw?
To be honest, I haven't. It'd be a great idea. We do seed a lot. It's funny, after 3 or 4 years, all the divots growing and getting bigger, you see all the bent grass starting to take over in fairways that you know you didn't seed in here. You know, and here it goes. So I love how it goes out with everything. But
this, I mean, you get this is great bent grass weather this county, like down here. It gets hot, and it's just, this is ideal bent grass here.
In the summertime, I don't want to say it's easy to grow bent grass because it's not easy to grow bent grass, but in the summertime, the heat, when it warms up down here, everything just starts to release for you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I feel like making the organic caps in the off season, like
Mm-hmm.
they don't necessarily even like green me up at the time
Mm-hmm.
to where like they get green and then it fades away on you. Like I feel like it doesn't even really start to release till summer. It heats up and like now you're getting spoon fed from something that's already down below the canopy and it's already down there like a polyon type release. It's already down there. It's already in.
Yeah.
You don't have to apply anything else on the top.
And
I feel like as it gets hotter, I less and less fertilizer.
Yeah, love it. And
Yep.
your plant's able to just kind of just stay very steady.
Yep. I think the ammonium sulfate that's in gives you like that little bit of green at first.
Well, you're also you're feeding the plant at the time where it's building its most biomass, and that's what's then building root mass, but also stand density, like you get that tighter, you just get that tighter plant, that tighter carpet.
Yep.
And that helps you manage all that car traffic, all of
so
that.
I don't mean to make it sound like too simple.
It is simple. Hey, you keep it simple.
I'm sure there's other clubs that they have to fertilize way more frequent. Maybe they can't. I have some sandier tees that I do go back out and hit a couple times, but
even you said you spoon feed certain greens or certain areas of greens with the greens grade stuff with like 10-5 or 5-4-5.
Yep. Go around some wheat greens, POA areas. Collars.
Yep.
They get ran over a lot. I'll go out there and touch those stuff.
And you made the point that like actually in the summertime you use 10-5 more than 5-4-5 because you use less product.
Yeah.
So you're able to kind of get it down because you're only putting out a pound or two per thousand.
Yep. I like it like that. Just a little less product in the summertime.
And it falls down into the canopy.
I'm scared. I get scared fertilizing in the summertime. I don't know.
Do you still go aggressive with your PGR program?
Yes.
Yeah. I know you always were really pushing for bentgrass growth.
Yeah. Especially working with Mr. Beaumont up there.
Oh, Mark.
Club.
Yeah.
He helped instill even more confidence in some growth regulation up there.
So trim it?
All the above. At different times.
Right.
A lot more trim it in the wintertime. A lot more primo in the summertime.
Got it.
Some manure in the off seasons.
Okay.
Just to put something else different in there, different AI in there. Cut back on the primo a little bit, I guess.
Yeah.
We'll use some of that. I've used proxy in the past, but I feel like you have to time that a little more. It's a little more about timing.
Do you have to do any seed head suppression around here? Or
we put enough trim it out that it really suppresses it. Yeah.
So your money.
I mean, we'll get some seeds, but they're so little and yellow and red and black that they.
Now do your greens handle all this traffic? You talked about the traffic on tees, but how the greens do?
Yeah. We got to be very selective with pin placements.
Okay.
Got to guide the golfers onto the green differently every day.
Well, what's your strategy there? You moving ropes or?
Just explain it to the guys.
Okay.
We have a select few that change cups, and we just talk to them about make them walk where you want them to walk. Make the golfer go onto the green and off the green how you want them to. And it's not so important about where the cup is. And we put out some funky pin placements doing it. We definitely hear about it. I played with golf one day where I even had to complain. But so we do have interesting pin placements. But you have to do it to get the green.
You control traffic with you're setting the pin and you're thinking about traffic.
Yeah, we want them to park over here and walk up here.
Yeah, and stay away from over there.
And do not go over there for a few more days, please. It's tough. It is tough. But we're hanging in there. This morning was a great morning.
Well, we had it was down near 60 degrees last night.
We got to go out and tine and spike and vent and seed and top dress and all in areas that are already relaxed from this cooling down. It's just like another jump on the summer, get another little.
You just gave yourself another 2 weeks.
Yeah, we just bought ourselves some more ventilation for the next few weeks.
Yeah,
it's great to be able to do that in the middle of the summertime amongst 300 rounds. The courses we worked at were in the summertime. We got to close down for 3 days and we would deep tine everything.
Yeah.
And vent it, soak it down with some water and banol,
That's not happening here.
Flush everything through and start over. We get turf Tuesdays, which is on Tuesday mornings instead of 5:15 tee times. We get 6:15, 6:30. So
Oh,
we get an
wow.
extra hour on Turf Tuesdays.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
and so you vented this
So
morning.
yeah, we got out the air fryer this morning.
Oh,
Went to
yeah.
town. It was great. Yeah.
Good move.
Yeah, it was great.
Good move.
Thanks to some special guys who switched directions in the morning and said, okay, we'll do that.
All right. Yeah. So that's what it takes. It takes
That's what
those
it
kind of
takes.
crew guys that are willing to do that.
And it's like I said, I'm excited that the original employees that have been here for many years are still here. And it's not easy. I mean, it's never easy. But we're thankful that, as we just discussed, within 3 years, you see some results. You start hearing some comments, and you see less negative reviews. There's always going to be some.
Well, you're enjoying the golf course, you told me. Like you get out there and
and some of our guys are now too. We get some you got to get some of the guys out golfing. You get a couple guys out there golfing, and then the other guys see that it's not just the customers that enjoy it. You can enjoy this game too. You can enjoy this job. You can enjoy what we do. And they'll come out and watch some of the guys on the staff play golf, and
the place is in the sort of shape that you feel happier going around for your round of golf.
I don't know if that's the word. That's the word for it.
What do you mean, man?
I don't know if anybody's ever happy with the conditions. It's exciting. It's more exciting. It makes it more exciting.
Yes.
You know, it's exciting. I'm not happy, but I'm excited about it.
Okay, good.
Is that a good word for it?
Yeah, that's a good
word.
word.
You excited.
Yeah, and it keeps your wheels spinning for next step, what's
it keeps
better.
you motivated. You see things getting better, and that's kind of what I was hitting at with the staff. They see things get better. They enjoy hearing the comments. Everybody stops us and tells us how
great,
awesome everything is, and the employees, they're like, all right, this is fun. This is fun. We get to play golf. We enjoy the product that we're playing on. We enjoy how everybody tells us they're having a good time out there. And it's, like I said, it's not easy at first with staff, but in time it gets better.
Have you had to close the golf course for rain this summer at all? No.
Maybe like that day. I think there was a day we got 1.5 inches of rain that day, and we were like, "That's it, get them out of here."
Right.
But the next day we were open.
Yeah.
Which that's not normal for this place. Could we have been closed? And would other golf courses with our wetness maybe have been closed? Yeah, I'm sure. Our threshold is.
But you didn't beat they didn't beat the place up when they came in the next day.
They put brand new cart paths in. That helps out a lot. And like I said, a lot of basics, a lot of top dressing, a lot of sand, man, a lot of trucks in and out here every day.
How do you spread it? What are you using to get it out?
I got a smaller Dakota.
Okay.
I was always used to using the bigger ones.
Mm-hmm.
But I was kind of thinking something more mobile. Like, you can't just put anybody on one of those.
It's a tighter property as well here.
Yeah.
It's not as expansive as across the street.
And when I was a young intern, I wouldn't have trusted me to drive one of those, and somebody did.
Yeah.
I remember what it was like weaving down cart paths and out of trees with an arm hanging off the side.
You don't need that garbage. No, like something that's manageable.
And the one we got, it's a little smaller, but it still has the 4 wheels to spread out. So for me, I think that's perfect.
Okay,
I'm not trying to oversell the Dakota, whatever it is, with the 4 wheels that's smaller than the giant one. I don't know what the numbers on it, but we can go over tees and greens with that thing.
Love it.
And
so you can just move a lot of sand.
You're moving a lot of sand quickly.
Yeah,
and those big Dakotas move a lot of sand, but you have to drive them back and forth to the shop slowly.
Mm-hmm.
If you get something a little quicker, you can get back quicker, get your sand and get back out there a little quicker. It kind of makes up for the difference.
You're totally right.
And you can get it on tees and greens if you want to.
Do you use, what do you use to spread the EarthWorks, the 822?
Mostly a Vicon.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, mostly Vicon. Walk spreader around the greens.
Right, right.
Yeah. We have those ride-on spreaders.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
those are a great golf
like
course
a Lesco brand one. Wasn't that expensive?
Yeah, there's a steel green one. I know that's not that expensive.
I like it around bunkers.
Yes.
I don't like walking up and around the bunkers anymore. We're both 40 now. We can say we're not kids anymore. I don't like walking up and around the bunkers anymore.
Right.
You still have to step off of it and kind of guide it around, but it's nice. I like those little things.
They're a great golf course tool.
Yep.
They certainly have a fit.
Yep.
Yeah, man. So we hit on the kind of unique things you do with labor. This whole like mow and go thing is really cool.
The mow and go thing is real.
Like you have guys that leave like at 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, absolutely. I heard of a couple courses doing it 5-6 years ago. We decided to start implementing it here, and now that I ask around, I feel like everybody I talk to is doing it. We're always used to being busy on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, and everybody knows that on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, when you know you don't have to be there all day. Everybody hustles, gets everything done, they get out of there. And kind of implementing that every day is kind of awesome.
Yeah.
And you get a little kickback, on any time you make a change to scheduling with staff and stuff like that. But starting as early as most golf courses do now, I think a lot of guys learn to appreciate the break that their body gets midday from doing that, and not trying to go hard for 8 or 9 hours straight, but do 6, real early,
Right.
make the golf course look nice, go get some rest. And if you want to come back and do some more, come back and do some more.
Sounds good.
But some guys, 6 hours a day, 7 days a week, 42 hours.
Yeah, that's enough.
They're good with that. And like I said, at first, not everybody was excited about losing 2 hours a day. But then I think everybody realized after 6 hours, we're so tired, let's go. Let's go get some rest.
Yeah. That's a good move, man. Okay, so you got that labor-wise. You're back to the basics when it comes to just getting the top dressing. That was enough to get the water moving and to dilute that thatch, and also the basics, activating that soil biology, breaking down that thatch. And then fertility-wise, you're on top of just feeding the plant and the soil at the time that the plant's really putting on its bulk.
Yep.
That fall to spring.
I just like having fertility built in there before the summer kicks in. I don't like trying to get the plant to take in stuff in the summer that's not already been in there, breaking down, ready to go.
Yeah. You don't want, because that isn't going to come into it naturally. You don't want to inject it with something that makes it super juicy in the summertime.
That, and I don't know. I don't like laying down the fertilizer in the summertime.
Well, it's salty, it's juicy. It's what's
that going to do on a hot day? I don't know. I'm sure some stuff's fine to do it with. I'm sure some products are fine to do it with, but I like building in organics, even when we have what we have here, which is a very rich soil. Incorporating it into the top dressing it seems perfect for us. We're making a area of profile that's got sand and organics in there,
right?
And where some areas had little and many areas had way too much, we're making a common ground.
Yeah, you're evening
it out.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, if you can take anything away from any of this, is within 300 rounds, you can find a way to at least even everything out, macro manage things. You might not be able to make huge messes.
And that's the way that you're then able to narrow down for 300 rounds.
To narrow down where you need to address. And it's funny, the areas that I go back and think of the meeting that we had about that area.
Okay.
It doesn't need attention anymore.
Yes. Well, I hope you remind them all of it.
Or where we want it. I try not to do that. I've learned in the past. We're 40 now.
I don't mean like an I told you so situation, but it is nice to kind of keep.
I try not to even hint that.
Yeah. It's nice to keep track of the successes.
Yep. I like writing big emails about,
I can't read.
Here's how I feel. This is why I feel we're doing better, and try to throw some people some bones.
Okay.
Whenever you're trying to get somebody more money or a bonus or something, this is what we're doing better. Brag a little bit about what we're doing and say this person's doing it.
Yes.
And that's the time to say this is what we're doing, I think. But to go and say I told you so sometimes doesn't.
No, it's not an I told you so. No, that ain't good.
But back to the macro managing and everything like that, to do that first could have probably been a bigger priority from the get-go. We did spend some time going out and looking at areas and having meetings about what to do about this, and back to basics. Back to basics.
Yes.
Get the air fire out, beg for sand, beg for some humic to mix in with it,
and do some fall fertility,
and start making a profile. It's that simple.
Basically, what you said is like aerification, top dressing, throw the seed around, fall fertility, and not much else.
Not much else. and staff, we talked about the staff a little bit, and to get guys to do stuff that you're not used to doing. Why are we spending all this money throwing all this sand around these fairways? I thought you were supposed to top dress greens. You know, what are we doing to the fairway? You know, like, I know that's not orthodox.
Yeah. But it was like we are thatchy and underwater.
Yeah.
You know, so we're gonna be more selective with the drainage that we do put in. Not that we're not going to use put in any drainage, but we're not going to shut down holes.
Yeah, we've definitely put in some drainage.
Yeah, right. But we're not
definitely have more to put in too.
Right. Well, you didn't pull out bulldozers.
But we have to be open, and
right.
we have to make these holes so you can play them. You know, you can't lose your ball every shot. You know, from plugging, and you can't find it.
Oh gosh, I hit the fairway and I can't find my ball because it's underground.
Yeah, there were some holes, no doubt, unplayable, that are definitely playable.
There you go.
Especially after rain.
It's huge.
I mean, there's some good humidity down here sometimes, and if you don't dry out or make it so that you can dry out, it's hard to do 300 rounds a day.
Mm-hmm.
You're soaking wet. Traffic makes mud, you know, when it's too wet, and that's always a battle.
Yeah, but you get it done. Dude, I couldn't be happier than for my birthday podcast to sit down with my old friend Lewis, hang out with you.
Great. You didn't mention that last time we did this, that it was your birthday.
It must have been somewhat close. I mean, yeah, I'm July 24th.
Oh, maybe it was June something we did it then. I don't know. But time does go fast, man. Like,
yes.
I remember when we did the podcast the first time, we were saying we knew each other in the business for 13 years.
Right. So now
and
it's
how
16.
fast it went.
Yeah.
And now it's like 16. In the last 3 years, we're like, what? I thought
Boom.
it was a year or two, and it was 3.
Boom.
Can't believe time goes that fast.
It's fun. It's going good. I mean, and having projects like Avalon,
Yes,
keep you on your toes.
Yeah.
Keep building the momentum. Keep staying excited.
Day goes quick.
Seeing those changes, making it better.
Exciting. There's always something exciting.
Oh well, yeah, for sure. You make it exciting, dude.
It's never easy.
We've had fun times whipping around on golf carts.
I don't think you ever go out and play your course and go, well, we're done here.
No,
you know, this looks good. Boy, this looks good. I'm taking a day off. Nobody ever says that.
No.
Nobody ever does that.
No.
But it's been fun. It's been great. Thanks for all the help.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, we have a good time. And thank you, listeners, for tuning into another EarthWorks podcast. Lewis, you're a wonderful guest. Thanks for also hosting me here.
I still can't believe you invite me to talk on this.
But you're good, dude, and you've got a great perspective. And I mean, you set like kind of record-setting rounds around here, and that's always fun to talk about. I like that.
It is neat. It is neat. Not for everybody.
Well,
for everybody, but it works here.
Yeah, it works here.
It helps make the changes.
And it's what brought you here, I remember too, right? Didn't you start here by playing here?
Yep. Yeah. Started playing here with my kids because it was just close, and we wanted junior membership for them to play, and got to know the superintendent that was here, and
that's how you got going.
Led to another, became friends, and I just love this place. It's a nice tree-lined golf course. There's not a lot of those left.
Yes.
You know, it's just a nice little place to be.
It's a cool place. Well, live from the Avalon Golf Club with Lewis Pitcock, Golf Course Superintendent. I'm Jack Higgins. This was another EarthWorks podcast. Thanks for tuning in. See you, everyone.